You know, there's been a lot of talk about suppressors and the Hearing Protection Act lately, but SBRs matter too. And I think that it is equally, or at least, in my opinion, just as important that we get the Short Act passed as well as the Hearing Protection Act right now. This is possibly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I can't remember ever being this close in my life to seeing suppressors possibly taken off of the NFA, and the opportunity is there for the Short Act as well, which would do the same thing but for SBRs, short-barreled rifles. A bunch of the guns that you see behind me are SBRs. This one is, that one is, that one is. I've got another one in the safe over there that is, this one is. Short guns are great for a lot of purposes. You know, an MP5K, an AR-9, it doesn't make sense to me to have a 16-inch barrel. Same thing with 300 Blackout. The Mark 18 here, 10.3-inch barrel, is a really great gun with a suppressor so it doesn't get super duper long. And there's no reason whatsoever that just because your barrel is less than 16 inches that your gun should be regulated any more vigorously than any other firearm. The last time that I did a video about the Hearing Protection Act was a few weeks ago, and at that time it looked like they'd watered it down to where they were going to have a provision in there for $0 tax stamps, but still keep all of the rest of the infringements, meaning that you still would have to go through the NFA process. Everything else that's involved in getting a suppressor that has been for the last many decades, just that the tax stamp was going to be $0 instead of $200. And yes, that is better than what we have had. But you know what? People were pissed. Gun owners were pissed, and they made a lot of noise. And before the big, beautiful bill passed the House of Representatives, they put the Hearing Protection Act back on it in its full original format, which would be to take suppressors off of the NFA. And this is despite Democrats talking about the assassin lobby and how ridiculous they think it is that Republicans want to legalize silencers because they don't understand silencers. They don't understand suppressors. These things, it is crazy to me. Literally crazy if you look at the logic that, anybody can walk in, and as long as you're not a felon, you can buy a firearm that shoots bullets, that has the ability to harm and kill, but yet you have to go through this lengthy, expensive process to get a metal tube with some baffles in it that can't do anything dangerous by itself. That is absolutely ridiculous on its face. And so it is good that that was passed by the House of Representatives. It still needs to get past the Senate, and the Senate does want to get this bill passed before the 4th of July. They don't want to drag it out, and we do have Republican control in the Senate right now. And because it's just a budget bill, all we need is a simple majority, 51 votes. In fact, we could even get 50-50 with J.D. Vance as the tiebreaker, and the bill would still pass. This bill is going to pass. Now, the Senate does have the power to change things in the bill, meaning that really they could still take the Hearing Protection Act out of it. I don't think that's going to happen. Like I said, a lot of people made noise. And so my point is this: make noise about the Short Act. We need the Short Act to be in that bill. It is just as ridiculous as, this metal tube with baffles being regulated more than a firearm. It's just as ridiculous that this firearm with a 10.3-inch barrel is more regulated than this one with a 14.5-inch barrel and a pinned and welded muzzle device. How stupid is that I have to pin and weld a muzzle device because the barrel is 1.5 inches shorter than 16 inches. SBR laws make no logical sense either, and we need them off of the NFA. We have the power and we have the opportunity to get that done right now. Now, this video is sponsored by Aura. How important is privacy to you? To me, it's very important. How important is it to you to not get spam all the frickin' time and to have to sift through a bunch of junk in your email to find the few emails that actually mean anything to you? How important is it to you to not get scam phone calls coming from other countries, that sound legit and they're just trying to take your money? How important is it to you to not have your bank account hacked? That's happened to me. Well, it happened to me 3 times in the year before I got Aura. Well, Aura takes care of all of that stuff for you. They give you all of your technical internet online privacy in one app. Very easy to set up, very easy to use. It's only $12 a month for everything they include, but you can get it absolutely free with my link, aura.com/sawtooth-tactical. Hit the link, go up, sign up. You can use it for free for 2 weeks, 14 days. See if you like it or not. Within that 2 weeks, in fact, with the first day, they're going to scour the entire internet and find anywhere where your data has been leaked and your privacy is no more. They're going to find all the data brokers that are selling your information to scammers and spammers, and they're going to submit opt-out requests on your behalf, which takes you off of those lists, and you're going to stop getting spam calls and you're going to stop getting scam calls. That happens immediately. You also get a VPN so that you can browse the internet safely and anonymously. You get, protection from scam calls, you get protection from spam, you get protection from data leaks, and then you get all kinds of other stuff if you want to use it too. Password manager, parental control, home title monitoring, all of these things for just $12 a month. But again, 2 weeks to try it out, absolutely free, 14 days at aura.com/sawtooth-tactical. So right now is the time to make some noise. Call your senators. In fact, keep calling your representatives as well, because they do talk. But call your senators. Whether there's Republicans or Democrats, make some noise. Now, the Democrats probably aren't going to listen, and they're not going to agree with what we have to say. But you know what? They are there to represent we the people, and we have to let them know what is important to us. And especially the Republican ones, let them know that this is the difference between a vote or not. Call them, write them emails, do whatever it takes. Call the White House, make YouTube videos, spread the word. I've heard a lot about the Hearing Protection Act over the last many weeks. Not enough about the Short Act, and I think that it is very important to not only get suppressors off the NFA, but also to get short-barreled rifles off of the NFA while we have this opportunity. Who knows when, if ever, we will have an opportunity like this again. We need to take advantage of it now. This is very important to me. I'm sure it is very important to many of you. I have spent thousands of dollars on tax stamps. I've got, 6 suppressors and 5 SBRs. That's 11 tax stamps. I think I have 5 and 5 at the moment. I've got 2 more suppressors coming. So that's 12 tax stamps. 12 times 200 is $2,400 in tax stamps. And running this channel and being a firearms enthusiast and wanting to build more SBRs and get more suppressors. So I'm getting 2 22 cal suppressors coming here soon. One for this Ruger Mark IV and one, I want to build a 1022 SBR. So that's 2 more tax stamps on those suppressors. And then there will be another tax stamp on the SBR. I've put off building a 1022 SBR for a long time because while I am no stranger to NFA items and the NFA process at this point, and to me it has obviously been worth it to me to spend $200 on a tax stamp in order to put an actual stock on the guns that I want and, vertical foregrips and suppressors. I would sure rather not pay $200 for tax stamps and not go through that process, not have to wait for the ATF to tell me that I can have the things that I want that are protected by the Constitution of the United States of America in the Second Amendment. Shall not be infringed is very, very clear. And we've been infringed upon for a long time. And right now, I know people say two wings of the same bird, and to a big extent, I do agree. But Republicans are much more likely to help us out on gun control because they run on that stuff. That's part of their platform, whereas the Democrats are all about gun control. Republicans are supposed to be about gun rights. And right now, we have control of the White House, the Senate, and the House of Representatives, and the Supreme Court, although there have been conservative justices voting against gun rights quite a bit lately, actually. And that's a problem. But that's a video for another day. For today, what is important is getting the SHORT Act and the Hearing Protection Act passed. The Hearing Protection Act, don't stop making noise about that. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying we got to get the SHORT Act too. And I don't hear enough about that. We got to get the SHORT Act on there because this might be the only opportunity we have. In 2 years, well, a year and a half at this point, we have midterm elections. And generally, things swing one way, the pendulum swings back the other way. We might not have control of Congress in 2 years. And so we won't have an opportunity like this again if that happens. We got to take advantage of this opportunity right now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if you've reached out to your representatives, your senators. It worked in the House of Representatives, and we got the Hearing Protection Act in its original form back on that big, beautiful bill. We need to get the Senate to add the SHORT Act as well. Let me know what you guys think down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. Make sure you subscribed. I say these things at the end of every video, but it is very important. YouTube demonetizes all of my videos now. And demonetization doesn't only mean that I can't make money off the video, but it also means that it gets very limited reach. YouTube is a business, and they only make money if there's ads on the unmonetized videos. And so if the videos are demonetized, they don't show those videos to people nearly as much. And so it really helps if you subscribe, like, and comment. That helps the algorithm and helps get them out to more people. And I really, really appreciate that stuff. Even if you just comment, hi, for the algorithm, whatever. That stuff really does help. From Sawtooth Tactical, stay strapped or get clapped.